chosen and my God don't pray for me. So scatter all my ashes when I'm dead. Shatter every legend in my head. If only the commanded will survive. Is anybody here still alive?
Welcome to the Unshow right here on Newtaboo.com. Thanks for joining us and downloading the podcast. Tonight on the panel, I've got Gecko, Meta, Galena, and maybe even Hatchling. And who knows, maybe Tug might show up. Turn it up, listen in. We're going to talk about the TPP U.S. elections and even that stupid game, the Super Bowl. You guys going to watch tomorrow? No.
The only real reason
Of course
why...
I am, to see those cocky Panthers lose. Hell yeah. I fucking hate Peyton Manning, but...
The only legitimate reason why I might watch is just to see if Peyton screws up as epically as he did before.
Actually, I want to see the Panthers lose and Peyton's career end all in one day. That would be awesome.
You think that could happen? Is that what you're hoping for?
No, you know, my birthday's coming up, so yeah.
No, I'm not a sports person, and I don't know if what I'm remembering is right or not. But wasn't Peyton supposed to retire?
They thought he was going to retire after the double neck surgery, but you know.
Well, I mean, I thought he was supposed to retire, and I thought that he was playing again after his screw up, just so he could try to end on a higher note, because anything's a higher note than that.
Well, no, at first he screwed up his neck and they thought it was going to be career-ending. Then they did the surgery, and he had problems with that.
Hey, Gecko, you should turn it up a little bit.
So he needed a second neck surgery, and now he's back.
No, I'm just saying...
I wouldn't be surprised if he retired after this season.
It would be smart. I don't know. I'm not a sports person.
I was going to say, I think Meta's the only one here that follows sports remotely enough.
But I always watch.
I follow sports the least of anyone here.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I live in a state with
Garsk, if you played sports,
team,
you'd break your leg.
So everyone who's anyone watches football because of the Green Bay Packers.
Nah, if Garth played sports, he'd be the kid, you know, wrapped in like 3 sheets of bubble wrap, running around looking.
Bubble boy.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
I'll watch the Super Bowl for the commercials. I'll mute the actual game.
Just TiVo it.
Yeah. She's watching the Super Bowl for the commercial.
Welcome to another podcast of the non-show, Unshow. There is no name for this podcast right now.
Did you say a non-show?
No, the non-show.
If we get enough viewers and I don't get drunk enough to put my own ego forward, we can have the viewers or somebody else.
Viewers, yeah. Because
so this is our
if
first
you
and
call
last
it
episode.
Gecko's Posse, I swear to God.
It will not be called Gecko's Posse. I promise you that.
Oh, I see what
Gecko Squad.
It's already become a following on CSS, you bastard.
That's not my fault.
So there's a couple of things that happened here over the last week. One of them, more importantly, was a TPP. And I hope everybody knows what the TPP is, but we'll just, I guess,
sort of toilet paper.
It is not toilet paper.
Charmin,
I think Charmin actually rolled the dice on it, and their executives decided not to use TPP as the top shelf brand.
Right, because it's not quiltered and it doesn't grab all the poo.
It doesn't have the clinging properties.
When the TPP should be used as toilet paper.
Well,
I mean, I think I know what TPP stands for, but I don't think you want me to repeat it on your show.
No, probably not. I mean, you could. We'll just cut it.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna cut it, then we can say, you know.
Yep, we're cutting that.
Well, you said that you can
just
cut
bleep it out. People
it's really easy to bleep out. It's okay, and it sounds funnier that way anyway. Yeah. So there's that. U.S. elections. Holy crap!
The U.S. anti-elections.
The U.S. carnival of politics. It's
On which
ridiculous.
side? Both?
It
There's
is
a-
both. Are you kidding me? Which side, Garsk? Come on.
Okay.
There's a
One
video you should see if you could put up on the site, and it's called "No Options Less or Left," and it's a bunch of people impersonating the candidates, and it's
Have you guys seen the bad lip reading stuff?
oh yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. I love it. The Democratic one, I think, for this round is absolutely hysterical. The Republican one is really funny as well. I like on the Republican one how their closing arguments are done in a 13 or 14 second song. They have 13 seconds to sing their closing argument. It's awesome. I love it.
I mean, it's really mean what they did to Ben Carson, but the thing is, it's not too far off from
The
his,
wee wee pee pee or something like that.
Or
That was so funny.
but just the pausing and just I don't know how to read him, and I'm decent at reading people, but he weirds me out. I mean,
He's kind of got, I hate to say it, he's kind of got sort of a stalker vibe to him. I don't know. I don't know, man. As much as I like the things that he says and his calm demeanor and things of that nature.
but that kind of it's like
Creepy.
he's so right. He's so calm. It's
Yeah.
it's always the quiet ones.
It's always the quiet. He'd be, are you saying he'd be the first to push the big red button?
He'd probably get in there, and after like the first day of briefings, that really, because that's what sets the tone for any person that hasn't been already fully indoctrinated before they're chosen to be president or whatever. And so that first day of briefings, he'd probably just sit there, and then I can just imagine him closing his eyes and in his sleepy dwarf tone just being like, and where's the button? And what button is that? Isn't there supposed to be a button that makes all the boom boom pals go up?
Boom, the boom boom.
And they would explain the whole procedure, and then when nobody's there, he would just sit there and look out. He'd look out and through the window, look.
Instant
And he would
DEFCON
just be-
5.
Yeah, he'd be like, you know what? Screw it. He'd pull it out.
Saw
and
it in a Genesis video.
he would just push the button just because, like.
He looks at all the children in America. I gave life
Now-
to you, and I have every right to take
Now,
it away.
Now, vice versa. If Trump makes it into office, if the anti-establishment, whatever, the outsider, whatever you want to freaking call him.
Yeah, but is he an outsider? Is he?
I don't know. I mean, as far as not getting funding from the Koch brothers, whatever.
Koch brothers?
Whatever.
Koch brothers?
I don't want to give him enough credence to pronounce their name right. I mean, he hasn't been bought off as much, but what I picture him, if he was in the office the first day, every time they try to give him a briefing, he'd be like, he would just, well,
Nope, we're going to do it my way.
that's great. Can we build a wall? Or, or sit there, and when they give him, when they describe the nuke procedures and being like,
So,
it's one thing, how much would it cost to paint them gold?
yeah, could we, make the fence clad in gold? How much would that cost?
Did anyone see the Colbert clip about the Trump versus Trump?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was amazing.
It was classic. It was beautiful. I like watching people argue with themselves. It's fantastic. So, out of curiosity, just out of curiosity,
Go ahead.
how many of you have listened or watched the records of the debates, the recordings of the debates thus
Watch
far?
one or two of them.
Okay, you've watched a couple?
I've made it up until the last one. The last one I did not.
The last one was
well,
tonight.
Well,
And I
Was that the
slept
one
through
without
that.
Trump?
Well, that's the thing.
The point of watching it.
Is because I tried to watch. I tried to watch him, and it's just. I don't know. I ran out of napkins to catch the amount of brain that was leaking out of my ears. And
Yeah, well,
my
the
partner is looking at me, and she's mad at me because I keep drooling on the floor, and she thinks the puppy had an accident. I just the few brain cells that I haven't managed to track down and launch strategic airstrikes against, I'd like to keep, and I can't do it.
it's pretty brutal. It's pretty damn
I don't know.
brutal.
I've been ignoring that stuff because I don't want to say I had anything to do with.
Okay, but that's kind of okay.
That's
So
the problem.
exactly.
You do everything
the
half-ass
inbred
backwards.
may
It's
stand.
stupid. You're dumb. Everybody who wants to be president is an idiot. You guys let in Obama. If you want to see a sign of the apocalypse,
Here's what you need to look at as far as if you're gonna, when you're talking about our current president. If you want a sign of him being completely bought, that he is just as bad as the rest, go figure, because you got to remember, the people at the top do not see in terms of race, religion, they don't care. But go figure.
no, they see dollar signs.
The first ethnic person they allow in the office, of course, they're going to make sure it's, seen as one of the worst runs. Like, that's the kind of mentality we're dealing with,
well, okay, and
Do
so
you
to
really
that.
think the approval rating of Obama is less than that of George W. Bush?
But you
No,
need
the
to-
numbers are all doctored. They're all fixed.
I mean, if you look at it though, anyone that has played the game and hasn't had character assassination or hasn't been had their head blown off and actually stayed in office, they always like to blame the one before them, but they're all towing the same line, so it all gets sequentially worse. I mean, so.
Well, my favorite thing, I always go back to this, when Obama was actually inaugurated into office, right? On Inauguration Day, if you were watching that, he gets in the limo where George W. Bush was in there, and I could only imagine the conversation that
To be a
happened.
fly on that
Yeah.
wall.
You're right, in that car on the way to the inauguration. I could really just look. If I was a fly on the ceiling of that car, Elena,
Bush would be like,
you this up, you're done, right?
You hear a
No.
big duck.
Yeah, exactly. I've set this up perfectly for you. Don't mess this up.
Yeah.
It's
would-
going to go as planned. You're just a patsy. Listen to your handlers. And if you it up, Lord have
Bush-
mercy on your soul.
Bush would be
You know,
like,
this time around, you should only have a choice between Wile E. Coyote and Elmer Fudd. All the human factors should be taken out.
So who's
Why?
Wiley?
'Cause
Who's
every-
Wiley Coyote?
Does it really matter? With
Yeah.
the
I
last
think
3-4
that's actually really
presidents we've
interesting
had.
to ask.
Yeah, who's Wiley Coyote? I'm kind of curious.
I think he'd be the Democratic.
Like Sanders or Hillary?
I don't want to say Sanders.
Hil-
I like Bernie Sanders.
Hillary.
Why do you like a socialist?
When it's against Hillary Clinton, I'll feel the
I
burn.
don't
Thank
think
you.
you're going to need to worry about her ever getting in office.
Maybe. Who knows? The FBI
That's what everyone
has to
said
do
about
something
Trump. Everyone was like, "Oh, there's no way he's gonna even make the
Yeah,
candidate."
But okay, so I want to go back to this in a second, but so Wiley Coyote is either Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton. So who's Elmer Fudd?
That's a hard.
Come on, Meta. Who's Elmer Fudd? You brought it up.
I don't know. I think we should stick with Trump being Elmer Fudd.
See, now that would be my initial reaction is I would put Trump in as Elmer Fudd.
Well, I mean, think about it. Elmer Fudd, his hat gets blown off, he picks it up. Trump, his toupee gets blown off, he picks that sumbitch back up, puts it back on, talks his nonsense like usual. I mean, it doesn't matter who you put in office this time around, they're all bad. So you're just going with the best to the bottom of the barrel. He who blows the most smoke up your ass wins.
So
Honestly, I
there's-
think it just
there's
shows
no
that
good choice.
America's got a scorched or just a let the world burn policy. That's why everybody's
I-
going for Trump.
I mean,
and
if
it's
they-
because they're like, how much worse could it get? Let's go with the most psycho. And at least he's being psycho outright before he's in office.
let's see who can blow the world up
that's the
first.
thing, though.
The morbid
Is if you
curiosity.
compare this, if you took everybody in this election and you put them on America's Got Talent, nobody'd win.
I don't know. Trump knows how to placate a camera, so
Trump knows how to go bankrupt, get out of bankruptcy, and then have
That's
a
my-
show where he fires everybody. And this is what I'm hoping for. If Trump gets in, I
Well,
want him
you
to
did
bring
see
that
that-
series back, but live fire, not like on pay-per-view, but
No.
you know, like on USA or something.
So did you see the article that said a 25% of government officials and workers will quit if Trump is
Yeah,
elected president?
so,
I was cheering. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to pay that much in taxes because I don't. And then I was like, wait, nope, nope, I'm going to have to pay that much in taxes. That'll never happen.
So yeah, it's like when I read that, I was like, so what you're saying is
Yeah.
that when somebody talks all good when they're running for president, and then they turn out to be a psychopathic nutcase once they're in office, you're okay with that. But when they start to show their true colors before they even get in office, and they may be the reverse once they get in and be damn decent, you're not okay with that.
So I've been saying this. I've been saying this since the beginning after Trump announced his candidacy for president, right? I've been saying, I looked right at my wife when Trump made that announcement, and I said, that is the Republican version of Obama. He's the Republican version of Obama. He's got no experience. Obama was a first-term senator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only experience in politics that Trump has is being placated and placating to the politicians in office. So he knows how to make deals, and he knows how to be bureaucratic, which would be in his favor, but he's still the Republican version of Obama. He's not going to go in and do anything because he's not going to be able to, because he doesn't know how to, he may know how to play little nuances of the game, but he doesn't know how to play the game. I mean, think of what a disaster our foreign policy is now and what it's going to be like if Trump gets in office.
Well,
Putin and Trump will be best friends, probably.
now, granted, you're right in that respect, but as far as not playing the game, you got to understand, he tried to run before, and they slaughtered him as far as his character assassination and everything else. The amount of money that he has, he did focus panels and had just hired as many people as he could to,
Oh, I'm sure.
guide him in the way that
And
he's doing.
and by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but Red, are you here? Did you make it in? No. Well, she's here.
Red logged in, but that's
here.
about it.
She's here. Who knows if she'll join in? But
Yeah,
welcome,
but you know why
welcome
Trump's
to the
getting
podcast.
looked at, right? I mean, think about
Because
what Obama's done
he's
over
a
his
quote
8
unquote
years.
outsider. That's why quote unquote
Then look
outsider.
at all the people who are jockeying to become president, and yeah, desperate times call from desperate measures. I mean, it's gonna suck. It doesn't matter who we put in. It is absolutely going to be 4 years of absolute garbage, and another president that doesn't do, one 1/10 of 1% of what they said they're going to do.
But that's because we've lost control of our country. We lost control of our country about 100+ years ago.
Yeah, and that's also providing
I-
that nothing
I
stops
mean,
Obama from getting out of office.
If we're at the point where Trump is
Right,
leading in
Gecko, you
anything
just
and it
brought
looks
up a
like
good
he
point.
might get into office, China's already won.
So here's sort of the quote unquote conspiracy theory that's going on out there, right? Is that Obama's going to sign some executive order or mandate martial law or whatever the freaky weird stuff that's going to happen, and he's going to pretty much pull the we're just going to maintain martial law or whatever the case might be, and I'm going to be your president for the foreseeable future.
He's gonna Putin it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I have a question for you guys then. If Trump is going to be the nodding head in office, if he doesn't actually know how to run this rat race, not to mention he'll be taking a huge pay cut if he becomes president with the amount of money that he's making, what is his
What are you
motivation?
talking about? He's still going to make money from his private.
Yeah,
business.
but you have to actually, when you become president, you have to actually show all of those all the assets and everything, and I don't think that he's going to want to do that.
He will.
He
but
will. He don't care.
He doesn't
will.
care. He'll do it. He'll do it because he sees the long-term viability of the option.
And if they could try to question or force him to,
I mean, for Trump, think about
drop-
it. What's 4 to 8 years for Trump? Nothing.
right? And if
I
they
mean,
try to
while he's
force
away
him-
in the presidency doing the CEO job of the United States, somebody else is going to be the CEO of Trump Industries, probably his wife or some other family
Right.
member, that's going to continue to suck up to politicians and get earmarks and all sorts of things built in for him. And so he's going to reap the rewards after 4 to 8 years, however long his presidency would be if he does make it into the presidency.
And
So,
even
he's
even
also-
if they try to force him to disband or stop certain things,
here's
he'll
a
just bring up everybody else's corruption. They know better than that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He'll
be
call
like,
him out
"All
on the
right."
carpet. Exactly.
He'll be like, at least I'm putting it out there in the public.
Yeah, he'll be viewed as the honest guy, right? But the other thing you have to consider too is when a president comes into office and takes the seat of the presidency, they're required to sign the equivalent of an NDL, a non-disclosure, right? And or an NDA rather, non-disclosure agreement, and a non-compete, which means there can be no conflict of interest, meaning that they can make no private money on the side while they're sitting in the seat of the presidency, which is interesting because that only happens in corporations.
Right. Well, and it's like
that only happens in corporations. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So that's something to think about. But Elena, I mean, that's a good question, right? What if? So, but I just look at all these candidates and I'm just, I can't help but bang my head against the wall and look at these people. I mean, look at our options for the Democratic nominee, Hillary Clinton, a f***ing liar.
Clinton 2.0.
Right? Well, who's to say she wasn't?
I don't know if that's a
1.0?
bad thing.
You're just calling a Clinton a liar. That's where you're gonna stop. You're gracious as hell.
I'm being gracious, but she's not just a liar; she's a f***ing liar. And then you've got Bernie Sanders, who's a European socialist, and he should probably be living in Sweden here, not in the United States.
At least he's honest.
Yeah, I'm not faulting him for being honest. I'm just saying I can't believe people want to vote for a guy that wants to raise their taxes to 90% of what they bring in. It makes no sense to me.
Skull. It's not like that.
It's not. Okay, educate us.
It's a marginal tax rate. So like if you make over like $2-3 million a year, that's when it's like 90%. If you like make like 50,000 like a normal income, it's pretty much normal. Like what you pay right now.
So they're still going to take 40 to 50% of what I make. That's
basically good. The entire country of the United States will become income-based housing.
Yep.
Why would you say that?
Because I don't mean as like where I live right now. I'm not talking like that. What I'm saying is the same mentality. They're going to adjust it in tune with exactly how much you make. He's wanting to get rid of generalized brackets, and actually it has an algorithm of depending exactly on how much you make is how much you get taxed, where it levels everybody across the country to the same level. That's what his platform is.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Well, that's the stuff that nobody wants to dig too far in.
I mean, because
and everything else he says.
Because it's not like there's people out there that work extremely hard for their money just to have it stolen away from them by the IRS. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So, stop doing that.
Stop doing what?
Just stop saying, but not saying.
I'm just saying.
But you're not saying.
But I'm not saying.
Dude, that's like
so backwards.
Have you ever thought about going into politics, Skull?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, seriously though, if I walk by and I crop dust somebody, it's like I'm farting, but I'm not farting.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. But so you've got this European socialist. You've got a dirty rat liar for the Democratic side, and so wow, that's the best that they can come up with. And then you look at the Republican side, and you've got two heavy hitters from the Republican establishment. And I don't care what you say about Cruz. If you're a Cruz supporter, the guy's establishment. Go and look and see where he's getting his money from.
Carson, that's what I want to know.
You mean Super Master Punchy Face?
Yes, that guy.
Is so
Cool.
freaking punchable.
Yeah.
What happened to Carson? I mean, he was going pretty good.
He's dropped off pretty significantly. I mean, now when you take a look at the delegates, both Cruz and Rubio. Well, Cruz is at 8. Rubio and Trump are at 7 each.
I don't want Rubio.
And then it drops all the way down to Carson.
With
3.
Carson,
Rubio.
his campaign
Rubio is McCain's boy.
Ew.
Rubio is McCain's boy,
That's
and we all know
terrifying.
McCain, Mr. Warmonger, Halliburton, fund ISIS himself.
I just picture that picture of him doing that with his tongue hanging out. That one picture, I can't. Ugh.
We'll find that, and I'll have to link that up on the podcast and stream that through at this point in the show, because that is a hideous picture. But yeah, so Rubio's McCain's boy, and then you have Trump, who's Mr. Non-establishment but has ties to establishment. You've got Ben Carson, who doesn't necessarily have any ties to establishment, but has been found to also be a liar. And then you got Jeb
Remember,
Bush, Fiorina.
He stabs belts and hits people with hammers.
And then he goes into the bathroom and miraculously comes out a Christian. Go figure. I'm just saying.
But you're not
But
saying.
he's not saying.
That's what he said. That's what he said in Iowa when he was going for those votes, those evangelical votes in Iowa. I stabbed a guy and I went into the bathroom and I met God in the bathroom. What does that tell you about God?
Dude, I've met God quite a few
Terrible
times
priorities.
in the bathroom, and it's usually when I'm saying, I swear to God, I'll never drink this much again. I swear to God, I'll never drink this much.
But God shows up in random places. He can show up in every single place, no matter when and no matter where.
Hey, Red, how's it going?
Now we
Hey,
finally
guys.
have our alternative side.
I love it. No, we need it. So, yeah, welcome to the podcast, Red.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, you've been listening?
Yes, I have. I just got off work.
Oh, okay, right on. Well, you're driving then?
It's okay.
Oh, yeah, don't hurt
condone that.
anybody or yourself on the way home.
It's okay,
Alright.
Red. Let Jesus take the wheel, honey.
All right, I
Play
did.
Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, do it.
So we have all these wonderful choices for our United States presidential candidates, and
Wonderful.
not a single one of them I would personally vote for. And I don't know that I'm going to play the game this time around because none
Did you
of
say
them
you'd
are.
vote for Trump?
When all the
I know.
candidates came out,
That's
I
what
literally
everyone is saying. I'm not even going to vote. I'm not even going to play the game. And then all the old white men who actually are going to vote for Trump. We're going to get him as president. and
No,
you all
they're
are
going to
gonna
vote for
bitch.
Jeb. They're going to vote for Jeb Bush, and then we're all going to wonder what the fuck happened.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is you got Trump. His last name is Trump.
Wait, are
and
you sure
Fens.
they're not
That's-
going to vote for Bernie Sanders just so they can have a guy the
They
same
would
age as
never.
them?
They would never vote for Bernie.
Garsh, do you get to vote this time around?
No, I missed it by like a month.
Oh, it's probably a good thing for the United
I know.
States.
No, all you got to do is just claim you're somebody dead, and then you can vote.
Or just
Have you
vote
done
under
that,
another
Gecko?
name.
Why would you?
Are you encouraging?
He
Voter
is.
fraud? No.
Okay, good.
Seems like you
I
are.
was just validating that. I wanted to make
I
sure.
thought felons couldn't vote. How are you voting, Gecko?
You know what? You know.
I mean, the dogs, you know.
Oh, that's not even funny.
He
I
worked
have
out
a
a
clean
he worked out
record.
a he worked
I have
out a
a clean
He
special
worked out a
record,
plea
madame.
bargain.
yeah he
I
worked
have
out
a
a plea
clean-
deal with the dog catcher.
I have a clean.
I think his special friends from alphabet agencies want to talk to him as well.
Ghost
As
in
a
the shell,
convicted
Gecko.
sex
Ghost in the
offender,
shell.
Gecko's not allowed within 200 yards of any kennel.
Oh my god, you guys are handsome.
Anyway,
So anyway, all right. So presidential campaign, we don't have many good choices. We
Yeah,
have a
when
lot
I-
of choices, just not good choices.
When it all came out, like who we had to vote for, me and one of my friends were sitting there. We were just looking, and we literally in unison were like, well, fuck.
So
Fuck.
So here's
fuck.
the fun topic that'll be kind of short, and that's the TPP. You guys, yes, T double P or the TPP.
All right, dude, that sounds like something that's going to show up on Urban Dictionary soon enough. I'll stop saying it like that.
That sounds like
TPP.
something that you need for a cream or a pill.
Meta, you should tell us what that's about.
Cosby sweater and a side of TPP.
Ah, yes, Bill Cosby just got honored on this podcast. So the Trans-Pacific Partnership just got signed on the 4th. So 3 days ago, it got signed in by, 12 countries in Auckland. That's in New Zealand. And that's after 7 years of negotiation. So that's a good time.
7 years of laying out the table and how each country can sue each other.
And the actual
countries,
the
it's the
doors.
corporations.
This literally opens up the doors for that Agenda 21 project. So the foundation has been laid over the last 40 years for Agenda 21, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership was literally the gateway, and now we're walking through it. You guys hear about the wildlands projects that Obama wants to sign into law about BLM confiscating land from landowners and ranchers? What do you think this shit in Burns, Oregon is all about? Yeah. Let's see what happens. So they take all the land, right? They take all the land. The FBI, Bureau of Land Management, BLM, comes in, confiscates the land from these landowners, and they push them into cities or closer to cities away from the land, and they do nothing with it. Is that good for the environment? Yeah, probably. I'm not going to argue that. However, it's Agenda 21 bullshit. And the Trans-Pacific Partnership allows, and it turns most control of corporations, or turns most control to the corporations. And then the craziest thing about this whole thing is that corporations can now sue each other internationally, and they get to...
They can sue countries as well.
Yeah.
They can get rid of their like safety laws.
Well, and the beautiful part about it is that the corporations essentially get to appoint their own judges. What? What? Wait.
So wait, you could bribe a judge to be on your side and then basically screw over another country?
Or company, yeah.
Yeah, corporations and companies, there's no distinction anymore officially. They can sue each other as entities. And the thing is that this is not very far once a couple conflicts happens from them adding a provision to allow them to establish their own, let's say...
militaries?
Interest, security firms or whatever.
What was that movie? It was released a few years back where it was... the world was run and owned by corporations, and each corporation had their own militia, and they were just constantly fighting.
Tekken revolves around that.
What is it?
Tekken, the game series and the game and the movie revolves around that, and I'm trying to think of the other one you're thinking of.
But I mean, it just laid it all out so perfectly in that movie. I can't remember what the movie was called.
No, the movie wasn't. What's the name?
It wasn't that good of a movie, but the premise and the ideas behind it were quite interesting.
I don't know who was in the movie.
I don't remember. It's been years since I've seen it, and I've only watched it once.
And stuff in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is if I can sue countries, I'm going to sue Canada because I don't like them being my hat.
Well, and I like their maple syrup.
We can keep the syrup. I just don't want them as my hat.
Well, who knows? They might soon be inducted into the entire body.
Well, if they're anything like California, someday they might fall in the ocean.
Doubtful.
I can dream.
I love that little New World Order thing that you just slipped right under their skull. Good job.
You liked that? Yeah.
No, it was very very subtle. Good job. You're saying, but you're not saying. It's cool.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Stop.
What gets you so uppity about that, Gecko?
Why didn't you like that, Gecko? Let's talk about that for a second.
Did you watch too much DBZ?
It's a redundant statement. I'm saying, but I'm not saying. You make mouth noise words.
I'm saying, but I'm saying, but I'm saying.
It's like someone that says, me, myself, personally think. Oh, I hate that.
Me, myself, and I.
I just gave Gecko a tick. Ugh.
Dude, I've had somebody say that, and I had to cut him off, and I wasn't even a part of the conversation. Shocker. And I heard that. Yeah, I was like, well, me, myself, and me, myself, and something have to say. And I was like, and me and myself say you're suffering from schizophrenia.
It's the royal we.
So here's the countries that are signed on for the TPP right now: Singapore, Brunei, New Zealand, Chile, United States, Australia, Peru, Vietnam, Malaysia, Mexico, Canada, and Japan. And amazingly enough, when you take a look at all of those countries, their economies are absolute shit. Go figure.
Coincidence?
No.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify.
He's saying, but he's not gonna say.
Oh my God,
Garsk, that's my saying. Okay.
How much money can you get from nothing? I mean, that list that you gave.
It's not that. It's establishing perpetual debt. It's the same thing that the IMF does when they give a country a loan to bail them out.
There may be 2 countries in that whole list that have money. Otherwise, everybody else
that's the point.
Walking homeless shelter.
But that's the point. No, so if Mexico feels slighted by the United States as a result of manufacturing, and they don't feel that they're making enough income from import taxes and export taxes to the United States, they have every right to sue the United States over grievances.
Because we didn't buy enough sombreros?
Yeah, or Xboxes or whatever they make down in Mexico. But the point...
Or, for the fact that nobody wants to drink their water because we all want to live?
Well, yeah, I don't
Or
like
on the-
Montezuma's
on
revenge.
Mexico's
Our water is
tequila.
even that much better.
How can you say that? New York's water is now officially irradiated. Flint, Michigan is screwed. California's about to go under with their fucking fart mountains they got going.
Hey,
We're not very far off.
The world is burning.
Remember, they always yell at you because there's certain things that are not safe to eat and not safe to drink, but you think about how much chemicals and all the other bullshit that they put in purifying the water, and let's be honest, at the end of the day, it's recycled piss. That's what it is. It's
That's why I
just
don't
at
drink
a
tap
level,
water.
It's just at a level where
have
it's
to-
acceptable enough to drink.
I have
But that's
to
why you
politely
taste,
disagree
you can
because
taste
my
the smell of the
urine is
bleach.
exquisite.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Gecko.
I'm sure it is full-bodied.
Damn straight it is. Damn
And-
straight.
and
It's like a salty
probably from-
lager.
Yeah,
And
God.
next
lager.
topic, please.
Oh.
Alright,
okay.
hey,
There
okay.
will be at
So-
least one
My
type of head
question.
involved, no matter what you do.
all right, so you got it from a professional breeder. Good boy.
My question is, so on these about how they're like lowering the tariff rates, blah blah blah, but we continue to raise the age limit to buy tobacco, but we're lowering the cost to exchange it between the countries.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. If we're lowering the cost of something, why does it keep going up in the United States and the age is going up?
Because
Does that
our
make sense to anybody else?
Yeah, the monetary part of it is because our currency is becoming less and less valuable. That's part of it.
Inflation.
Well, yeah, inflation, but our currency is being traded off left and right. China and Russia are all but encouraging other countries to sell off the petrodollar and crash the United States economy, which, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, because the fiat currency that is the dollar is really what makes the world go round, and there's so much of it floating around out there that it should be worthless because it's not backed by anything except bonds and pieces of paper.
Yeah, but every time an economy flags, there's usually a war that follows to fix that.
Exactly.
So that's what'll happen is our economy will flag or a market will crash. Next thing you know, we're invading a country.
Well, yeah.
Wasn't it Trump that was saying that war is good for the economy
Yep.
Yeah.
in the last debate?
Yep. War creates
That
jobs.
that he didn't go to, but
Well,
And,
he's
like, we'll go
busy
through the
raising
best examples
$6
for that.
million for veterans.
you heard the vets aren't taking it, right? They were apparently, I heard on the radio, so please don't quote me, but I heard on the radio that they were so offended that Trump was using that agency for his own personal gain, that the money that they raised for this campaign they're not accepting.
Well, good for them. It's too bad they're not taking it, but good for them. I mean, they need it. God knows how messed up the VA is right now. They're not going to get any help from them, but
Yeah, my brother-in-law
they're standing
always
on
says
principle, so I get it.
charming things about the VA every time he has to go in.
The VA's messed up.
Yeah, he says it's a joke.
It is. It's a joke. I remember going to the VA with my grandfather years back before he passed, and yeah, it was a joke. He was scheduled to have an appointment at 3:00, and we ended up not seeing his doctor until 6. He was in there for 15 minutes just to have his doctor go, well, I don't know, we're going to run some tests. We'll let you know in 3 months.
Yeah,
I
that's
was like, what?
that's why my brother-in-law uses my sister's insurance. Whenever he's got to go to the doctor, he tries to avoid the VA and just goes and sees a regular doctor.
Just awful.
Just to make sure, I went ahead and just Googled this, and yeah, it says the head of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans Group says they will decline donations from the fundraising event Donald Trump plans to hold Thursday night as he sits out the Republican primary debate. He tweeted, "If offered, we will decline donations from Trump event. We need strong policies from candidates not to be used for political stunts."
Very nice. Very nice.
But I like how they came back with that and said political stunts.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
And you know what that's what that all equates to about a week later in the mind of most Americans.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That's exactly true.
So, yeah, there's, man.
Ooh, look, Kim Kardashian's got a new cellulite ripple.
Yay! Cellulite!
There's a reason that the Kardashians and all that are there to distract us.
Right?
Right.
Exactly.
Trump
So-
put them there.
I mean, if
Or was it Obama?
Do you know why the
Is-
Kardashians are around? Is because there's a worldwide shortage on Horby gun.
God.
I
Nobody
mean,
likes the
ISIS is great for
Kardashians.
that. I mean, just like let them come in.
I'd love to go in there and be like, be like, your daddy helped a murderer get out of jail, or get away almost scot free. What did you do? You sucked a dick. Like that's her claim to fame.
One's fat, one made a sex tape, another's a bitch.
Did you hear the? Did you
other
hear how
two
the other
are-
ones?
So-
the other one was like, "Well, I made sex tape too."
Yeah,
Have
well,
you
I
heard
don't
about
care.
that shit?
I
Yes.
really don't give a shit.
Have you seen
So-
the Kardashians? Do you really want to see
No,
them naked if you had a choice?
I think I've seen pictures of the Kardashians a couple of times, and that's only because my wife likes to read those magazines. Because for some reason, I get it. It's funny. She laughs at them, but I just don't get it. Anyway, TPP. Let's wrap that up. It's bad. We've all known
Bullshit.
it's bad.
Bullshit.
It is bullshit.
More bullshit, really. Like on top of the bullshit pile.
Yeah, well,
It's-
I mean, you can only stack bullshit so high until it like self-combusts.
I don't know. I'm pretty proud of our abilities with Garsk. Moving on.
Garth, do me a favor. Tell your mom we said thank you for her insight.
Yes, thank you.
Her insides.
No.
Wow.
Wow, Garsh.
Well-
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
This is not another game of Who's Your Daddy. We already played this. Nobody knows.
Thanks, Daddy Meta.
Isn't his name John? He's a
No,
John,
it's-
right?
No,
Meta.
I thought we already established that his mom is his dad post-op.
That's right. So she
And
is
that's
the
as
John.
bad as
Anyway,
that's
TPP.
as bad as I'm saying, but I'm not saying.
I'm saying, but I'm
all
not
right,
And
saying.
that
TPP.
reminds me of Trump. So,
TPP. Thanks, Gecko.
That's
That
what
was
reminds me
great.
of Trump.
All right,
Jesus.
so anyway, take a
My
look at the
brain
TPP,
wicked.
find out how bad this thing actually is, and the
Well,
United
outright,
States.
it's bad, and it's the gateway that it opens.
Well, here's the
to-
thing, though. There's still time in the United States to encourage, and I say that term loosely because we know how well our senators and politicians listen, to not sign this thing into law and not
Isn't it
fully
already
sign
signed
it.
into law?
No, Obama signed on for it, but he cannot legally sign it into law unless he wants to pull his executive order
Obama,
pen out.
legally 2 words.
It shouldn't belong in the same sentence, I know.
Same paragraph, really.
So anyway, they still need to bring it and sign it into law and pass it through the House and then go to Obama's desk and it'll be legit. But there's still time, so, do what you think you need to do to stop that. All right, fun last topic. Gecko, have you finally watched the first episode of season 10 of The X-Files?
I caught the lizard man thing. and
Oh,
everybody was
come
saying,
on.
that
I
means
haven't-
no.
Come
That's
on.
the third episode, not the first episode.
I know. I
you-
have
wait,
not
wait,
seen the
wait.
first 2.
So the first episode of season 10 has been out for over 2 weeks and you still haven't seen it?
No, and I want to see what.
Aren't
I
you a
wanna see
lazy?
Listen, no, that has nothing to do with.
Watch
It does.
The X-Files is awesome.
Wait, you
Watch
just
it.
called me lazy, the person that. Oh, don't even start, little boy. You freaking
Neither here nor there. We're talking about you here, Gecko.
you droopy-eyed muppet. You got to look at it this way.
All right, well,
I caught the third episode. I caught the third episode, and
I don't care
it
about the third
was-
episode. The third episode
what I'm
was
saying is-
garbage compared to the
Right,
first episode.
Right. So I'm going to see what the 2 episodes after this one are, because if the 2 episodes after this one don't get back in line, then there's no point me watching the first, because the first 2 means it was just a hook. You get the serious fans and the serious conspiracy theorists on board, and then they start
And
making
man,
fun of
oh
shit.
man, was that hook awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That hook was awesome.
It makes me want to go back and rewatch the entire series.
All 9 seasons and then watch episode 1 of season 10
And-
all over again.
And the movies.
Yeah, right? And the movies.
I've never seen a single episode of X-Files.
Oh, come on, Elena, they're great.
I
And you
am
wouldn't yell
gonna
at me.
tie you to a seat and make you watch it.
So I guess
Right.
apparently we're not going to be
X-Files
talking
and
about
Yeah, X-Files.
Wow.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, there's double reds in here.
Oh, that's creepy.
Oh my god, awkward orgy.
Oh, no. Meta.
No.
My
I love how that
phone.
no had an upward inflection, like no.
There it goes.
All right. So I guess apparently we won't be talking about the last 15 minutes of episode 1 of season 10 of the X-Files, because then that would spoil it for Gecko. Or maybe
I'm
we
not
should.
That worried about
Spoil
it.
it.
I'm not that worried about it.
Garsh, did you watch it?
Nope.
It's not
Oh
like
my
finding
God.
out that Kylo Ren kills kills his father, and then Luke Skywalker
You know-
looks like a homeless man
He
before
does.
you watch the movie.
I actually thought
Garth
that
isn't old enough to watch X-Files.
No, I still need parental permission to go to Disney.com. I think.
I really wanted.
or PBS.org.
I really wanted at the end of Star Wars when she's handing him the lightsaber for him just to slowly look her with tears in his eyes and be like, "Is there a bathroom on that ship?"
I haven't gone for 30 years.
I tried my best to force
Who are
create
you,
a
kids?
toilet.
Get off my damn lawn!
You guys, Garsk and Gecko, you guys have to watch the first episode, but the last 15, 20 minutes of the episode were
Is
fantastic.
it bad they haven't watched any X-Files?
Just watch the first episode of season
He's
10.
not gonna get any.
No, he will, because it's that in your face. He's
Look,
going
if
to
it-
get it because
if
it's
it
stuff
wasn't-
we've talked about.
If it wasn't for Harrison Ford, nobody would watch the new Star Wars.
Why are we going back to Star Wars? I was talking about X-Files.
Because we
Meta,
made
what
a
did you
little
think?
comment.
What did you think of the last 15, 20 minutes of the latest episode of X-Files? Of season 10, episode 1.
The episode 1 I absolutely loved. It was fantastic. It got me excited about X-Files again. Episode 2 was still pretty good. Episode 3, I don't know what the hell they were thinking or
I
where
haven't
they were
seen
going
episode
with that
3.
episode.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's confusing.
Now the actor they picked
Here's-
for is funny. Watching him
Now,
do
hang
that,
on a
like that
second.
was perfect. But...
So here's the beautiful part about this with Meta, is he absolutely loved episode 1, right? But he doesn't believe anything of it.
right.
No. I believe in life on other planets, alien stuff like that. But when you and I say this with all the love in the world, whack jobs think there's more there than there actually is. I have to let you know, because I'm a firm believer you need to protect stupid people from themselves.
I love that whack job said with affection.
It is with affection.
Awesome. All right, Gecko, do you have a good outro song to play?
Sure.
Better be good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that'll-
think might be the same one. Nope.
Nope, that's different. That'll work. All right, that's going to do it for this podcast. It's the first one of 2016, and because my audio equipment, and I got a nice upgrade on my computer now, stuff's not messing up. So we're going to be able to do more of these again this year. Make sure you check out Newtaboo, and we're
We'll
on
be
Facebook.
more serious on future shows.
Maybe. Who knows?
That's
We'll
a
see.
lie.
We'll see. But check us out on Facebook, Newtaboo on Facebook, newtaboo.com. We just made it to MeWe, all that good jazz. Check it out and check back every Saturday, Sunday for a new, fresh podcast with the panel. I want to thank Gecko, Meta, Red, Garsk, and Elena for joining me tonight. It was fun, and you guys have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay!